I'm assuming if you clicked on this video, you probably heard of Hatzegopteryx or Quetzalcoatlus. You know, those giant Azhdarchids from the late Cretaceous. But what would happen if these apex pterosaurs fought for the crown of the prehistoric skies? Who would stand victorious and who would be the laughingstock of the ancient world? Hi, I'm John, and in this video we're going to find out which one of these pterosaurs deserves the honor as king of our prehistoric skies. We'll divide this up into 3 different rounds, but first let's reintroduce these prehistoric titans. First up is a pterosaur named after a literal Aztec god, the one and only Quetzalcoatlus. Standing 16 feet tall and having an impressive 36-foot wingspan, this pterosaur was no joke. With its long neck, narrow beak, and lightweight build, it looked like if a giraffe, a dragon, and a stork all got smushed together into some sort of prehistoric aircraft. Basically, nature's weirdest hang glider. Then we have Hatzegopteryx, standing 13 feet tall with a wingspan of about 33 feet. But unlike Quetzalcoatlus, this one packed on serious muscle. Its thicker bones, shorter neck, and massive skull makes me question whether it actually went to flying school or skipped to go to the gym. Nevertheless, this prehistoric bird was not something you'd want to run into. So, we've got a tall, agile flyer versus a stockier powerhouse. Let's break it all down in round 1, physicals and features. When it comes to size, Quetzalcoatlus was unmatched. Its light frame and hollow bones helped it soar long distances, likely covering miles with ease. This made it incredibly efficient for long flights in search of prey or carrion, as it scavenged those deadly North American landscapes. But Hatzegopteryx does a complete 180. Despite being shorter, it was actually heavier than Quetzalcoatlus by over 100 pounds. Its reinforced neck and skull weren't just for looks either. They suggest it could deliver crushing bites or powerful blows at its rivals. It also likely hunted larger prey, possibly ambushing animals on the ground using brute force instead of speed. So here's the trade-off. Quetzalcoatlus was agile and built for endurance, while Hatzegopteryx was compact, dense, and lethal at close range. Overall, round 1 goes to Hatzegopteryx for its power and durability, as that would be a huge advantage in any direct confrontation. Although Hatzegopteryx wins, brute strength doesn't matter if you can't survive and adapt in even the toughest environments. Which raises the next question that leads us into round 2. Which pterosaur is better suited to thrive in its environment? Well, for Hatzegopteryx, it lived in what's known today as the Hatzeg Island ecosystem, essentially an isolated island chain in prehistoric Europe. This region was full of dwarf dinosaurs and lacked large predators. With little competition, Hatzegopteryx likely ruled the food chain as an apex predator, picking off smaller creatures with little resistance. On the other hand, Quetzalcoatlus lived in the massive and predator-filled landscapes of late Cretaceous North America. It shared its environment with giants like Tyrannosaurus rex, Ankylosaurus, and various raptor groups. Life wasn't easy and it had to navigate dangerous terrain, avoid larger threats, and still compete for food. This forced Quetzalcoatlus to adapt. It likely developed sharper senses, better flight endurance, and a more cautious approach to hunting and scavenging. So while Hatzegopteryx had a smoother ride, Quetzalcoatlus takes round 2 for surviving and even dominating in a much more competitive and dangerous environment. But here's the real question we've all been waiting for. When these two finally meet face to face, who would win in an actual fight? Let's settle that in round 3, combat. Now, this is where things get really intense, so listen up. Quetzalcoatlus had the size and speed to strike fast, retreat, and wear opponents down. Its long beak may have helped it jab at enemies or deliver precise repeated strikes. In a fight, it could also use its mobility to stay just out of reach, and look for small openings to get a good puncture, badly injuring its foe. But Hatzegopteryx doesn't play by those rules. It wasn't built to dodge, it was built to finish fights quickly. Its shorter, stronger neck and massive jaws suggest it could clamp down hard or even use its beak like a hammer. One good hit could seriously injure a rival or even worse, cause a fatality. If the battle is prolonged, Quetzalcoatlus might have the edge, but in a close direct clash, Hatzegopteryx is simply more dangerous, and overall wins round 3. So, who truly ruled the skies? While Quetzalcoatlus was faster, taller, and more adaptable in a rough environment, Hatzegopteryx wins this matchup, thanks to its sheer strength, tougher build, and dominance in close quarters combat. It may have not been the flashiest flyer, but in a one-on-one battle, it had everything it needed to win. Hatzegopteryx is officially crowned the king of the pterosaurs. So what do you think? Do you agree with the result? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this matchup, make sure to give me suggestions in the comments below and tell me how you liked it. And as always, have an amazing day and we hope to see you next time.